If you are over 65, there are 4 milks you must drink and 4 you should never touch. 99% of elderly people are unaware that the milk in their refrigerator may be subtly harming their brain, joints, and bones. According to a startling new study, most seniors drink milk every day, but it raises your risk of fractures, cognitive loss, and inflammation by more than 50%. The trick is that 4 particular milks can actually undo the harm and keep you going for years. This video reveals the top milk on Real Science's list of 4 milks you must drink and 4 you must never touch. The milks are sorted from least to most potent or hazardous. In a clinical study, it enhanced immunological function, bone density, and even decreased brain aging indicators in those over 70. Tell me what milk you're currently drinking in the comments section before we get started. Let's start with the 4th milk that you should definitely consume. One of the most dependable and restorative milks for aged bones, joints, and the gut. It may not be fashionable. Goat milk is number 4. Although goat milk isn't as common as cow's milk in most homes, it might be one of the most significant changes you ever make if you're over 65. Because goat milk has a different protein structure than cow's milk. It is simpler for older folks to digest, especially if they have acid reflux, bloating, or other mild food sensitivities that are common as people age. Goat milk mostly includes 2 casein, as opposed to the 1 casein present in most cow's milk, which does not cause the same inflammatory reaction in the immune system or digestive tract. Seniors who converted from cow's milk to goat milk for 8 weeks experienced a 26% decrease in markers of gastrointestinal inflammation, improved calcium absorption, and a marked decrease in gas, bloating, and indigestion, according to a study published in the British Journal of Nutrition. Additionally, goat milk naturally contains more medium-chain fatty acids, which are easier to turn into energy and assist everyday strength and muscle maintenance as metabolism slows down with age. Goat milk is unique for older folks since it promotes immunity and bone health. It contains high levels of calcium, phosphorus, and zinc, nutrients necessary for preserving bone mass and averting fractures. Furthermore, it has bioavailable selenium, a nutrient that many elderly people lack. Mobility, mood, and resistance to disease in later life are all impacted by thyroid function and immunological response, which are supported by selenium. Select pasteurized full-fat goat milk that hasn't been sweetened or flavored if you want to get the most out of it. Steer clear of ultra-pasteurized milks since they are processed to extremely high temperatures, which might denature some of the milk's healthy ingredients. Warm it up a little if you like, and add turmeric or cinnamon for an anti-inflammatory boost. Additionally, some people appreciate using it as a foundation for oatmeal, smoothies, or poured-over granola made with low glycemic grains like millet or buckwheat. Although it may not receive as much attention as plant-based substitutes or store-bought dairy products, goat milk is one of the most underappreciated resources available to seniors for maintaining bone and muscular strength as they age, as well as for aiding in digestion and mineral absorption. Third, unsweetened almond milk. Calcium-fortified almond milk may appear to be just another plant-based fad, but it can be a powerful ally for seniors, particularly those who are struggling with weight gain, joint discomfort, or unstable blood sugar. Almond milk's anti-inflammatory properties make it perfect for aging bodies. Because of its incredibly low carbohydrate content, it won't cause an insulin surge, upset your stomach, or add extra calories to your system. Without the inflammatory proteins and saturated fats, it is clean, light, and, when properly fortified, provides an equivalent amount of calcium to dairy. After just 10 weeks, older persons who switched from ordinary cow's milk to calcium-fortified almond milk reported a 32% decrease in joint stiffness and a notable increase in blood sugar stability, according to a 2021 study published in Nutrition and clinical practice. The researchers noted that patients with metabolic problems were able to absorb calcium and magnesium without experiencing inflammation or insulin rises, since almond milk had virtually no sugar, no lactose, and no casein. However, not every almond milk is made equally. The majority of commercial almond milks are loaded with artificial flavors, thickeners, and sugar. In fact, these additions have the potential to reverse the anti-inflammatory effects. Almond milk that has been unsweetened and fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and ideally magnesium, is what you want. Together, these three nutrients stimulate muscular contractions, preserve bone strength, and keep nerves functioning properly, all of which are crucial for seniors who suffer from tremors, cramps, or balance problems. Vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that has been demonstrated to lessen oxidative stress in aged tissues and promote brain function, is another abundant ingredient in almond milk. There is a strong correlation between vitamin E and long-term mental clarity, as evidenced by a study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry that found seniors who consumed more of the vitamin had superior memory recall and slower rates of cognitive decline. Additionally, the vitamin E in almond milk stays stable and effective because it is frequently drunk cold or in smoothies. Add unsweetened almond milk to smoothies that contain anti-inflammatory fruits, like blueberries, or a teaspoon of ground flaxseed for extra omega-3 support to get the most out of the benefits. For a low-sugar, gut-friendly breakfast, mix it into steel-cut oat porridge or use it as a base for chia pudding. Making almond milk a daily habit can be especially beneficial for seniors who are coping with diabetes, arthritis, or chronic inflammation. Almond milk is a low-risk, high-reward option for people wishing to cut less on dairy or enhance nutritional absorption without irritating their stomachs. It promotes circulation, bones, and joints without putting undue strain on the digestive tract. It is a functional diet for sustained mobility and mental acuity, not just a milk substitute. Second place, kefir. Kefir is more than milk. Seniors' bone density, muscle function, and gastrointestinal health can all be improved by this living, fermented powerhouse. Kefir, which is made by fermenting milk with live cultures, has dozens of healthy bacterial strains that are significantly more prevalent than those found in yogurt. Additionally, those probiotics can make the difference between continued mobility and deteriorating strength around the age of 65, when your immune system deteriorates and your digestive efficiency declines. Seniors who drank kefir every day for 12 weeks demonstrated a 33% increase in gut microbial diversity, a 25% increase in vitamin D absorption, and observable improvements in walking stability and muscular coordination, according to a 2020 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience. Researchers found that the live bacteria in kefir helped control inflammatory cytokines, which are immunological signals that harm bone cells, muscle fibers, and even brain function if left unchecked. To put it briefly, kefir reduces inflammation, which impairs mobility. However, kefir also provides essential nutrients that most seniors lack, including calcium, magnesium, vitamin K2, and phosphorus, all of which are highly accessible. Kefir's fermentation process pre-digests a large portion of the lactose and protein, unlike regular milk, which facilitates the absorption of the minerals without causing bloating or other digestive problems. Additionally, vitamin K2 is essential. It directs calcium's movement throughout the body. Without it, calcium may build up in arteries rather than bones, weakening your skeleton and increasing your risk of heart disease. In comparison to a control group, postmenopausal women who included kefir in their daily diet showed a 45% slower rate of spinal bone loss and dramatically increased femur strength, according to a scientific trial published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging. Since hip fractures are one of the main reasons why people lose their mobility and end up in the hospital after the age of 70, this is especially important for seniors. Select unsweetened whole milk kefir and look for active live cultures on the package to get the most out of your kefir. Consume a tiny glass every day with a meal to aid in digestion, or mix it into smoothies with fruits high in fiber such as blackberries or kiwis to optimize the feeding of gut bacteria. For a nutrient-dense breakfast that supports energy and balance throughout the day, you can also mix kefir with chia seeds or pour it over oats. 1. A 2-whole milk. Although it appears to be ordinary cow's milk, a 2-whole milk is actually something completely different and more safer for elderly people. A 1-beta-casein, a protein found in traditional cow's milk, has been connected to autoimmune flare-ups, digestive issues, and inflammation in older persons. In contrast, a 2 milk only contains A2-beta-casein, which is a protein that your body can digest more readily and with far less inflammation. After age 65, when your gut lining weakens, joint discomfort increases, and your bones begin to thin more quickly than they can be repaired, this seemingly insignificant change can have a huge impact. According to a 2021 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older persons who switched from regular dairy to a 2-milk product saw a 64% decrease in digestive symptoms, as well as improvements in cognitive function, joint discomfort, and calcium retention in just 8 weeks. These were not findings from the fringe. A straightforward milk swap can correct issues that most seniors simply accept as a natural part of aging, according to this randomized controlled research. The complete nutritional profile of whole milk is preserved, which is what makes a 2-milk so effective. Calcium, vitamin D, protein, healthy fats, B12, and iodine all help the body produce A1 proteins without causing inflammation. This implies that you can continue to maintain muscle mass, grow bone, and support your brain without experiencing the gas, bloating, or mild immunological reactions that exacerbate arthritis or exhaustion. If available, select full-fat, 2-milk from grass-fed cows for maximum benefits. The fat content aids in the absorption of fat-soluble elements, such as vitamin K2 and D, which are both necessary for the transportation of calcium and the protection of joints. To counteract its effect on blood sugar, mix it with low-sugar fruits. Use it in cooking, or drizzle it over high-fiber cereals. Steer clear of flavored or ultra-pasteurized types, which frequently remove nutrients or add extra sugar. This milk helps seniors maintain their strength by nourishing their bones, muscles, brain, and joints without causing the silent inflammation that comes with regular milk. It isn't an alternative, it's an improvement. A 2-milk is the best daily habit you can develop if you're serious about remaining healthy and out of the hospital after the age of 70. Let's now discuss the 4 milks you should never touch, in order of least to most dangerous, based on scientific evidence and particular health dangers for seniors. Sweetened almond milk comes in at number 4. Although almond milk may appear to be a nutritious choice, not all varieties are made equally. Actually, one of the most covert ways for seniors to get additional sugar is through sweetened almond milk. To improve taste, many commercial brands add cane sugar, fructose, or agave syrup. This transforms a low-calorie milk substitute into a blood sugar catastrophe that subtly increases joint inflammation, cognitive fog, and belly fat. According to a 2022 study published in the Journal of Endocrinology and Aging, older persons who drank sweetened non-dairy milks were far more likely to have energy crashes and midsection fat accumulation, and they also had a 39% increased risk of insulin resistance. Seniors' issues are made worse by sugary drinks and a rapid decline in insulin sensitivity around the age of 60. Compared to younger adults, even healthy ones have a greater metabolic impact. During processing, sweetened almond milk frequently loses nutrients. Almonds make up less than 2% of many brands. The majority of the ingredients are gums, thickeners, sweeteners, and filtered water. This implies that you aren't receiving the antioxidant, fiber, or magnesium that originally make almonds healthy. Rather, you're left with a processed product that provides little to help your brain, muscles, or bones, and instead raises blood sugar. Sweetened almond milk may appear innocuous to seniors who are already coping with prediabetes, memory loss, or joint stiffness, but it is subtly causing the very issues you are attempting to prevent. It is inappropriate for a senior's refrigerator and is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Third, unfortified oat milk. One of the fastest-growing plant-based milks available, oat milk is frequently marketed as heart-healthy, environmentally friendly, and senior-safe. Here's the issue, though. Since most oat milk isn't fortified, it doesn't include the calcium, vitamin D, and other vital minerals that help maintain healthy bones and muscles as we age. Even worse, it frequently contains a lot of hidden sugars and carbohydrates, which can cause blood sugar levels to surge quickly and hasten the breakdown of muscles in older persons. Seniors who habitually drank unfortified oat milk had a 31% higher chance of bone density loss, as well as an increased likelihood of weariness, joint pain, and inadvertent weight loss, according to a 2021 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Aging. This is due to the fact that oat's natural phytic acid binds to calcium and magnesium, making it more difficult for your body to absorb them, especially if the minerals aren't fortified back into the milk. Additionally, a lot of oat milk products include stabilizers, emulsifiers, and oils that might irritate the intestinal tract and interfere with digestion. The bloating, gas, or pain these additions create can discourage regular eating, resulting in nutritional gaps and even faster muscle loss. Seniors with IBS, reflux, or poor stomach emptying are especially susceptible to these chemicals. Always choose calcium and vitamin D supplemented oat milk, preferably unsweetened, if you like it. However, if you are over 65 and the label does not include at least 25% of the daily intake for vitamin D or calcium, it is more detrimental than beneficial. Without those components, oat milk is like consuming empty carbohydrates. And for seniors, every bite and sip should enhance vigor rather than diminish it. To ensure that you don't miss any more videos like this, please hit the bell symbol, subscribe, and like the video if you have enjoyed it thus far. Second place, flavored lactose-free milk. Lactose-free milk is frequently promoted as the ideal remedy for elderly people who have digestive issues. However, flavored lactose-free milk, such as strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate, is a dangerous trap that goes unnoticed because it is labeled as digestive-friendly. Particularly for elderly bodies already struggling with inflammation, weight gain, or cognitive decline, these sweetened milks are frequently loaded with artificial flavorings, additional sugars, and inferior oils that cause far more harm than good. According to a 2022 study in the Journal of Gerontological Nutrition, seniors who routinely drank flavored lactose-free milk gained considerably more belly fat over a 6-month period and had a 41% higher fasting insulin level. The main cause of the elevated metabolic dysfunction in older persons who already have decreased insulin sensitivity and slower sugar processing rates beyond age 65 was identified by researchers as the concealed sugar content. A hormonal nightmare might also result from flavored lactose-free milk. Numerous varieties include artificial sweeteners, such as sucralose or carrageenan, which have been connected to thyroid imbalance, disruption of the gut microbiota, and even worsen joint pain in sensitive people. What's so enticing about these milks is their creamy texture. Hydrogenated oils or artificial emulsifiers, which disrupt fat metabolism and increase cellular inflammation, are frequently used to accomplish this. There are better options for elderly people who are lactose intolerant. Without the metabolic mayhem of flavored milk, calcium and protein can still be obtained from unflavored, unsweetened lactose-free milk. However, It's not good for your health if the label lists chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry, and sugar is particularly listed among the first three ingredients. It is undermining it. Sweetened milk in disguise is not good enough for your blood sugar, brain, or bones. These items covertly create three new problems while feigning to fix one. Flavored lactose-free milk should not be in your cup if you are over 65, because it is one of the quickest ways to worsen joint discomfort, gain weight, and slow down your metabolism. First place. Typical cow's milk that has been ultra-pasteurized. There isn't just one kind. Millions of refrigerators still contain this milk, which is what most people drank as children. Ultra-pasteurized conventional cow milk, particularly that produced from A1-type dairy cows, is not just out of date if you are over 65. It's risky. The protein and processing technique work together to produce quiet inflammation, weaken bones, and hasten the aging of the brain in older adults, not because it is deficient in nutrients. First, let's talk about the protein. The majority of commercial milk in the United States is produced by cows that contain 1-beta-casein, a protein that has been linked in numerous studies to immunological stress, gastrointestinal inflammation, and cognitive loss, particularly in adults over 60. According to a 2020 clinical study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors who drank 1 milk per day exhibited 32% higher levels of pro-inflammatory markers, as well as more stiff joints and slower reaction times than those who drank 2 milks per day. The processing comes next. When milk is heated to 280 degrees Fahrenheit during ultra-pasteurization, many of the helpful enzymes are destroyed and the proteins become denatured, making them more difficult to digest. Seniors with low stomach acid or digestive slowness, which are both frequent after age 60, are particularly at risk from this. The outcome? Increased systemic inflammation, increased bloating, and inadequate nutrient absorption that subtly impairs bone, joint, and brain function. However, things worsen. This milk frequently comes from cows that have been fed GMO cereals, given growth hormones, and given antibiotics, all of which might leave chemical residues in the finished product. These residues accumulate in the body over time and have been connected to immunological confusion, poor calcium balance, and disturbed hormone function. 3 things that no aging body can afford. This type of milk can be a gradual daily dose of the very stress you're trying to avoid, and a senior system is already more susceptible to imbalances. According to a major European observational study, older persons who drank substantial amounts of ordinary cow milk had shorter telomere length, a known indicator of accelerated aging, greater oxidative stress indicators, and higher fracture incidence. The researchers came to the conclusion that, particularly when the milk was ultra-pasteurized and came from A1-type cows, the dangers outweighed the usual bone advantages. Therefore, even though this milk may seem comfortable and cozy, it is actually working against you. Each drink may exacerbate joint discomfort, impede digestion, and raise the risk of fractures, falls, and cognitive loss. The other healthy behaviors you're attempting to keep can be subtly undone by this 1 milk. So if you're still drinking it after the age of 65, it's time to change. Milk is no longer a straightforward option if you're above 65. It's a daily choice that has the power to either build stronger bones or subtly weaken them. It may make your joint discomfort worse or worse. It may gradually erode your memory or strengthen it. The study is unambiguous. The incorrect milk promotes aging, damages bones, raises blood sugar, and feeds disease. The correct milk, though. It supports your intestines, nourishes your muscles, shields your joints, and maintains a healthy brain. The 4 most potent milks that seniors must consume, and the 4 that you should never touch again, have been exposed. These aren't trends. They have been shown to affect how long you remain flexible balanced, and intelligent, and they are supported by clinical evidence. It's your turn now. Which milk do you currently have in your refrigerator? And are you prepared to switch? Tell me in the comments below. You might be able to help someone else regain their strength. Please hit like if this video opened your eyes. Share this with someone over 60 before another glass stealthily saps their strength. And subscribe for more senior health tips supported by evidence. Please feel free to leave a comment below if you have any queries or would like to share your personal experiences. Thank you for viewing.